Namaskar. Today we will be studying about kidney function tests. The purpose of renal function tests is to diagnose the diseases or disorders of kidney and urinary tract and other systemic diseases that affect the kidney function. First we will discuss about nephrotic syndrome. Nephrotic syndrome is defined by heavy proteinuria which is more than 3.5 gram per 1.73 meter square of the body surface area per day in adults or more than 40 milligram per meter square per hour in children. Hypoalbuminemia which is less than 2.5 gram per deciliter. Presence of edema and hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipidemia is defined as serum cholesterol more than 200 milligram per deciliter. How to identify nephrotic range proteinuria? We can do an early morning protein test which may be 3 plus or 4 plus by dipstick method or manual method, that is heat boiling test. We can also do spot urine protein creatinine ratio which is more than 2. This ratio is calculated by dividing the urine protein concentration by the urine creatinine concentration and is best performed on a first morning voided urine specimen to eliminate the possibility of orthostatic or postural proteinuria. Ratios less than 0.5 in children, less than 2 years of age and less than 0.2 in children more than 2 years of age suggest normal protein excretion. A ratio of more than 2 suggests nephrotic range proteinuria, or in children it is also defined as urine albumin excretion more than 40 milligram per meter square per hour. The accurate measurement of heavy proteinuria is done in urine samples over 24 hours and the amount of proteinuria is more than 3.5 gram of proteins in urine per day. How to collect 24 hours urine sample? The collection may begin at any time, but it is usually started in the morning when you wake up, let us say 8 a.m. At 8 a.m., the patient is asked to urinate into toilet and this specimen is not saved. Then all the urine voided during the next 24 hours is collected in a container. At the same time, that is 8 a.m., the next morning, the patient voids and the specimen is saved and added to the container. This is the end of the collection. Please mark the time of the last collection on the container. Remember, no urine should be discarded during the collection period. Now, the etiology of nephrotic syndrome. It is idiopathic in 90% of the cases with minimal change disease present in 85% of the cases, mesangial proliferation, focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, membranoproliferative congenital phenotype seen in the rest of the cases. The secondary causes amount for 10% of the cases of nephrotic syndrome and there are various diverse causes for it. Now, the investigations that can be done in nephrotic syndrome are, we can do a complete blood count on which we may observe that iron resistant microcytic hypochromic type of anemia is present due to transferrin loss. Thrombocytosis may also be seen. A coagulation screen comprising of PT, APTT, thrombin time levels should be done. There is a greater predisposition for the formation of blood clots that are caused by a decrease in the levels of antithrombin 3 in the blood due to its loss in urine. The protein S levels are reduced and there is increased plasma levels of factor 5, 8 and of fibrinogen. Also, a baseline level of protein, lipid, urea, creatinine and electrolytes should be done. The level of proteins will be low and there is hyperlipidemia. then a detailed urine analysis should be done. The urine analysis may demonstrate casts which may be hyaline, granular, fatty, waxy, or epithelial cell type. Microscopic hematuria is noted in about 20% of the cases. Renal biopsy may also need to be done. Now, the definition of nephritic syndrome. The nephritic syndrome is a clinical syndrome that presents as hematuria, elevated blood pressure or hypertension, decreased urine output, and edema. The major underlying pathology is inflammation of the glomerulus that results in nephritic syndrome. It causes a sudden appearance of the RBC casts and blood cells, a variable amount of proteinuria, and WBCs in the urine. The primary pathology can be in the kidney or it can be a consequence of systemic disorders. Now we come to the clinical features of nephritic syndrome. It is rare below 3 years of age. It has an acute onset. There may be a latent period of 1 to 2 weeks following pharyngitis and 2 to 4 weeks following a cutaneous infection. There is puffiness around eyes and pedal edema. Cola or brown colored urine is there. There may be oliguria, hypertension, and atypical presentation comprises of convulsion, pulmonary edema, acute renal failure, and congestive heart failure. The course of disease is that acute phase lasts for 4 to 10 days, azotemia and hypertension persist for 2 weeks, gross hematuria persists for 1 to 2 weeks. Now the various laboratory investigation and their results. On doing a urine analysis, we may observe hematuria. Usually it is marked with brownish or cola colored urine. As the hematuria is glomerular, dysmorphic RBCs are seen and at least 1 per 20 cells is an acanthocyte in glomerular hematuria. The cellular casts are less common than acanthocytes in glomerular hematuria as casts are present in severe disease. The proteinuria is generally 1 plus to 2 plus and ranges in the subnephrotic range, that is, it is less than 3.5 grams per day. Nephrotic range proteinuria is seen in less than 5% of the cases. The patient may have pyuria, that is presence of WBCs in urine in the absence of a urinary tract infection. On doing a hemogram, there may be anemia, mild leukocytosis, and erythrocyte sedimentation rate may be increased. On doing biochemistry investigations, the C3 levels may be low, which become normal in 6 to 8 weeks. There is azotemia, elevated creatinine level, and reduced glomerular filtration rate. Now to prove the evidence of a streptococcal infection, a throat swab culture may be done, or we may see that the anti-streptolizin O levels are elevated. These are seen in pharyngeal infections in 80% of the cases, or there may be elevated anti-deoxyribonuclease B or anti-hyaluronidase antibodies which are seen following a cutaneous infection, or streptozyme test can be done. Now these are the serological tests that can be done to rule out the underlying immunological renal disease and know the etiology of the nephritic syndrome. The anti-nuclear antibodies are done to rule out autoimmune disorders. The serum C3 and C4 complement levels, they may be low in post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, infective endocarditis, and systemic lupus erythematosus. ASO titers may be done as discussed previously. Then anti-neutrophil cytoplasmic antibodies levels are assessed to rule out systemic vasculitis. Anti-double strand DNA antibodies may be done for the diagnosis of systemic lupus erythematosus. Anti-glomerular basement membrane antibodies to rule out Goodpasture syndrome. Hepatitis B surface antigen and HCV antibodies to rule out hepatitis B and C infection. Serum protein electrophoresis and serum immunofixation to identify plasma cell disorders. Rheumatoid factor to screen for cryoglobulinemias. Now, differences between acute nephritis and nephrotic syndrome. The acute nephritis is characterized by hematuria, edema, hypertension and oliguria, whereas nephrotic syndrome is characterized by heavy proteinuria, hypoalbuminemia, edema and hyperlipidemia. In nephrotic syndrome, 90% of the cases are post-infective and immune complex mediated. Nephrotic syndrome, 90% of the cases are idiopathic. Nephritic syndrome, patient usually suffers only one attack. In nephrotic syndrome, relapses are common. In nephritic syndrome, immune complex deposition may be seen, whereas in nephrotic syndrome, there is retraction of epithelial foot processes. On doing the urine analysis, the albumin is 1 plus to 2 plus. There may be hematuria and RBC cast may be seen. Whereas in nephrotic syndrome, there is selective proteinuria, which is more than 3.5 gram per day, and RBCs are not seen in majority of the cases. In nephritic syndrome, blood urea creatinine levels are raised, whereas in nephrotic syndrome, they are normal. Now we come to uremia. Uremia is a clinical syndrome which is marked by elevated concentration of urea in the blood. It is characterized by fluid, electrolyte, hormonal and metabolic abnormalities. It most commonly occurs in the setting of chronic and end-stage renal disease, but may also occur as a result of acute kidney injury if loss of kidney function is rapid. The prerenal azotemia can be caused by decreased blood flow to the kidneys as seen in low blood pressure, congestive heart failure, shock, bleeding or dehydration, or because of increased production of urea in the liver because of a high protein diet or increased protein catabolism seen in stress, fever, major illness, GI bleeding or steroid therapy. The renal causes can be attributed to decreased kidney function, and these include acute and chronic kidney failure, acute and chronic glomerulonephritis, tubular necrosis, and other kidney diseases. The post-renal causes can be due to decreased elimination of urea. These could be due to urine outflow obstruction, such as by calculi, tumors of the bladder or prostate, or a severe infection. Now, the signs and symptoms of uremia are there is a generalized feeling of fatigue, weakness, and there is pruritus. The mental and neurological status of the patient may change. There can be uremic encephalopathy, seizures, or hysterexis. There are GI disturbances. Anorexia or early satiety may be seen. Uremic pericarditis. There is platelet dysfunction or bleeding. And parathyroid hormone levels are increased. On doing the blood investigation, there is a normocytic normochromic anemia, reticulocyte count is low, erythropoiesis is depressed because of diminished biosynthesis of erythropoietin and fibrosis of bone marrow due to hyperparathyroidism. There is prolongation of bleeding time, leukocyte function is impaired. There is hypocalcemia and chronic renal failure, which results from impaired ability of the diseased kidney to synthesize 1,25-dihydroxyvitamin D, the active metabolite of vitamin D. There may be hyperphosphatemia due to reduced GFR, hypertriglyceridemia, and there are decreased high density lipoprotein cholesterol level is there in uremia, whereas cholesterol levels in plasma are usually normal. These are our details. You can WhatsApp us on 9899846186 or email us on this address. Thank you.